Hello, soul family. Welcome to Spiritual Manifestation. If this is your first time, welcome in. And if you've been here before, I'm so glad to have you home. We're opening sacred space for a collective tarot reading and an energy update, one that feels beautifully open-ended. I'll be honest with you, I don't have a fixed direction for this one, and I'm not getting a strong pull just yet on where Spirit wants to go. And you know what that means? It's actually the perfect moment for intention setting. If there's something on your heart right now, something you've been asking for clarity on, longing to understand, or hoping will finally reveal itself, this is your invitation to bring that forward. You can speak it silently to yourself. You can breathe it into the space. Or, if it feels aligned, go ahead and write it down in the comments as a way to anchor it into the physical. However you choose to set your intention, know that Spirit already heard you. We're going to let this one unfold exactly as it's meant to. Let's begin. I just pulled the Empress from our deck. And wow, this card couldn't be more aligned with what I'm feeling right now. Divine Feminine, if you're here listening to this, I know I'm tuning into someone very specific. There's this deep emotional current moving through you right now. It's not just sadness, it's something much more layered. You've been carrying so much on your own for so long that you barely realize how heavy it's become. And now, as you're being called into a season of true support and real emotional connection, it's stirring something in you that feels unfamiliar, maybe even a little uncomfortable. You've gotten so used to doing life solo, to being the strong one, to being the giver, the nurturer, the one who's always steady, even when things are falling apart. But the truth is, this next chapter of your journey isn't meant to be walked alone. And the discomfort you're feeling right now, that's coming from the parts of you that still believe your worth is tied to being independent, self-sufficient, unshakable. Spirit is bringing this moment into your life to whisper something soft but powerful. Yes, you are capable of doing this on your own, but you don't have to anymore. You've been through so many awakenings. You've rebuilt yourself from the inside out. You've alchemized pain into power over and over again. And now, you've arrived at a point in your journey where Spirit wants to remind you that your mission here, your higher purpose, it's so expansive, it actually requires support. You weren't meant to carry this kind of divine assignment alone. You need reinforcements because your light is meant to reach further than you can even imagine. I feel this soul-level restlessness coming through you. It's like you've always known, even as a child, that you were here for something bigger, that your life had meaning. Even if you couldn't put it into words, that knowing has always lived inside you. And the reason you felt it so strongly is because your soul came into this lifetime with a very specific blueprint, a unique energy signature, a sacred plan. Your soul didn't come here to blend in. It came to radiate a frequency so powerful, so pure, that it naturally lifts others up just by being in your presence. For some of you, that energy moves through your creations, maybe through your art, your voice, your healing, your presence in certain spaces. And for others, it's not about doing anything specific. It's about being. Simply by being alive right now on this planet, you're shifting the frequency of the entire field around you. You've probably found yourself asking, why am I here? Or, what am I really meant to do? And the answer isn't as complicated as it feels. Yes, your purpose will unfold through different roles, projects, and seasons in your life. It will evolve. But the essence of it, you're already living it, right now. Just by having the courage to exist, fully, authentically, emotionally, you are doing exactly what you came here to do. You are holding a vibration that heals, that inspires, that awakens. So if you felt lost, uncertain, or restless lately, take a breath. Ground yourself back into the truth. You are the work. Your life is the mission, and you are already fulfilling it beautifully. Let's move forward, and I just pulled the moon. And immediately, I felt that something beneath the surface has been stirring, quietly but deeply. Divine Feminine, this message is for someone who's been feeling a little lost in their emotions lately. And not just your own emotions, but something that feels almost transferred, like an emotional heaviness that came out of nowhere. I want you to know, you're not imagining it. There's an energetic link here between you and a certain masculine energy that's creating this inner turbulence. And the closer you get to this person, whether emotionally, spiritually, or even telepathically, the more those feelings intensify. Now, I want to pause and say this. When I speak about divine masculine and divine feminine, I'm not talking about gender. These are energetic archetypes. We all carry both within us. So this could be about someone external in your life, or it could be your own inner masculine being activated by something that's shifting within you. But the emotional waves you're feeling, they're real, and they're strong. It feels like one moment you're floating, blissed out in this beautiful connection, and the next you're hit with fear, sadness, or insecurity you didn't expect. It's confusing, but it's also revealing something really important. This isn't just any connection. This is a soul connection that hits differently. It feels warm, familiar, and almost dreamlike. But it also brings up everything that hasn't been healed yet. And what I'm picking up here is that this connection, as beautiful as it is also incredibly triggering for both of you, especially for the masculine energy involved. There's a lot coming up for him right now. I keep hearing words like inadequate and not enough, like he's suddenly realizing that being close to you means showing up in a way he's never had to before. So when you feel that sudden shift in energy, when a blue sky turns gray in a heartbeat, it might not be about anything you did. It could be that you're feeling what he's feeling. That's how strong the energetic bond is between you two. I saw this so clearly. 1 minute, you're light as air, feet barely touching the ground. And then suddenly, sadness, like something broke open inside of you. And it's not just pain, it's a deep vulnerability, a longing, a wound being touched that maybe you thought had already healed. This is the kind of love that opens your heart so wide. It doesn't let you hide from yourself. It's awakening something in both of you. And sometimes that awakening feels like chaos. But beneath it, there's so much softness, so much truth. And for someone here, I keep hearing the word bittersweet, the joy of something so pure, tangled up in the fear that it might fall apart. Whoever you are, I want to say this clearly. You are not crazy for feeling this deeply. You are not too much. You are just in touch with what is real. This love, this connection, it's real. And that's why it stirs so much inside you. This masculine knows he can't just coast through life anymore if he wants to stay connected to you. He knows that loving you, really loving you, is going to require a full transformation. It's a soul-level journey, a deep inward shift. And yes, he feels the weight of that. But so do you, because you're the one carrying the emotional truth of this connection while he figures it out. So, if you've been feeling shaken, if the emotional weather has been all over the place lately, this is your confirmation. It's not all yours. Some of what you're feeling is his. Some of it is the intensity of the love itself. Some of it is what happens when two hearts that have been protecting themselves for years suddenly find themselves wide open. You are not falling apart. You're falling into alignment. Even through the mess, even through the noise, you're being guided. And this connection, however it unfolds, is part of your awakening. Trust that. The energy here is so moving, and I just pulled the next card, which is the Two of Pentacles. And that instantly tells me that there's someone here, especially a masculine energy, who is feeling completely unbalanced right now. Emotionally, he's all over the place. And I don't mean that as judgment. I mean that in the most human way possible. Because this connection, it's not just pulling on his heart. It's pulling apart the version of himself he thought he had to be in order to survive this world. And he's not sure how to hold both that version and the one you're helping him become. So if you've noticed him pulling back, going quiet, feeling distant, it's not rejection, it's reaction. Whether he shows it or not, you've stirred something so deep inside of him that he doesn't quite know what to do with it. Just like this connection opened your heart, divine feminine, it's cracked his wide open too. And this part is so tender because the sadness isn't coming from anything you did. It's coming from his own inner wounds. The ones that whisper, "I'm not enough. I don't know if I can keep this. I don't even know if something this good is meant for me." It's like you've become this beautiful mirror, and in you, he sees everything he wants and everything he's afraid he can't reach. There's this voice inside of him that keeps saying, "This feels too good for this world." And as romantic as that sounds, it's also what's creating the friction. Because when something feels too big, too beautiful, too otherworldly, the question that always follows is, how do we make this real? Where does this even fit in our day-to-day lives? So if this masculine is stepping back, it's not because he's disconnected. It's because he's trying to breathe. He's trying to get a hold of himself. He's trying to make sense of what he's feeling. It's not a goodbye. It's a moment of recalibration. He's trying to stabilize the emotions you've awakened in him, the parts of himself that now feel too soft to survive in the world he's been used to navigating. And still, even with all that intensity, there's this pull. I heard it so clearly. I just want to run away together. It's like when you're with each other, the whole world fades away. It's just you and him. Nothing else matters. It's like you're not even on this planet. And that's what makes it feel both divine and impossible all at once. But here's what Spirit is saying. It's not supposed to fit into the old world. You're not here to squeeze this love into broken structures. You're here to create something new, together. The energy you meet in that high-frequency place where your souls know each other before your minds even catch up, that's not just a dream. That's the starting point. That's the space you're being invited to bring into your physical world more and more. You're not meant to escape into that energy. You're meant to live from it. And that's what this next phase is about. You're not just inspiring each other anymore. You're helping one another build a new reality, a new rhythm, a new way of being in this world that actually matches the vibration of the love you've already felt between you. But yes, that also means letting go of some things, relationships, routines, beliefs that no longer match where you're going. And for both of you, that part might be hard. So if things are moving slow or messy or unclear right now, trust it. You're not going backward. You're stabilizing something sacred. You're anchoring the divine into the real. And that's no small thing. That's meant to be. The next card we have here is the Knight of Cups. And the timing of this card could not be more perfect because the energy I'm feeling right now is so gentle and so hesitant at the same time. This is definitely about a masculine who's in his heart, but unsure how to move with it. He feels the pull. He feels the love. But there's a part of him that's scared of what comes next, And that's what we need to unpack here. First, I'm getting the message that this connection is unfolding slowly and not by accident. This is a process that has to happen one step at a time. Every time you talk, every time you cross paths, even in the smallest ways, it's like there's this huge exchange of energy between the two of you. And that energy is so big, so strong, that it needs space to settle. Each moment you share with this person creates a kind of emotional ripple that both of you have to feel out and integrate. It's not just casual, it's not surface level, it goes deep. And that depth brings up things, fears, doubts, old stories, questions you didn't even know were still inside you. This kind of soul connection doesn't just feel magical, it brings everything to the surface. The love here is real, even if it hasn't been said out loud yet. You can feel it. I can feel it. And that's why these doubts and insecurities are showing up. Because that love is pulling them out of hiding, asking them to be healed, not hidden. Now, I want to speak directly to the divine feminine who might be feeling confused right now. Because I can feel it so strongly, this uncertainty about where this masculine stands, what he's thinking, whether he's coming or going. And here's what I'm getting from his higher self. I know you're the one, and that scares me. That right there, that's the emotional truth. You walked into his life, and you are everything he asked for, everything he hoped for, but now that it's real, he doesn't know how to hold it. It's like he made the wish, and the wish came true. But instead of celebrating it, he's trying to keep his heart from getting too close to it. I'm also hearing the phrase illusion of options. So if you've been wondering whether he's got other people around him, if he's keeping his options open, I want you to know he might be pretending he has choices, but in his heart, he already knows. It's only you. You're the one his soul responds to. You're the one who touches his heart in a way no one else does. That's why this whole hot and cold energy has been playing out. It's not because he's playing games. It's because he's overwhelmed. He's trying to understand himself better. He's asking himself why he reacts the way he does. And he knows, deep down, he hasn't always handled things well. He regrets the times he's pulled away without explanation, the moments when he let fear speak louder than his heart. But here's what's beautiful. I see this light bulb moment coming for him. A moment where something clicks. And when it does, he's going to want to tell you something. And do you know what I heard? Clear as day when I asked what that is? Love. That's what he wants to tell you. That's the word that sits at the very center of all this confusion, all this emotion, all this hesitation. Love. Now let's talk about the emotional storm you may have felt recently. If you've been blaming yourself, wondering if you're the reason for the distance or the shifts in his energy, please don't. I heard that so clearly from his higher self. Don't blame yourself. What you're feeling isn't yours to carry. It's the weight of his fear that you're picking up on. This masculine is learning how to hold love without losing his sense of self. He's learning how to move through fear instead of running from it. And even if it seems like nothing is happening on the outside, so much is happening underneath. He's changing. He's softening. He's getting ready to show up in a way that's true, not perfect, but real. And Divine Feminine, your role in all of this, keep being the light, keep being home. Because that's what you are to him. You feel like home. And when he's done running, that's exactly where he'll want to land. Now, I just pulled the Hierophant card, and it makes so much sense with what I'm feeling right now. Because this energy isn't just romantic, it's spiritual, it's committed, it's intentional. And even if the words haven't been spoken yet, there's a masculine energy here who is beginning to understand something really big. He wants this to be real, not just felt, not just dreamed about, real, tangible, defined, divine feminine. I feel like up until now, this connection has had this dreamy, floaty kind of energy, like the two of you are dancing in a dimension that no one else can see. It's beautiful, but also confusing, because it's felt so high frequency, so soul connected, that at times it almost hasn't felt real at all. It's like you've been meeting in a space outside of time, touching each other's hearts in ways words couldn't explain. And yet, there's been this longing, this quiet ache, this shared question. How do we ground this? How do we bring it into something we can actually live and hold and build together? And here's the powerful shift I'm feeling. The masculine wants to say it now. He wants to speak the words. He wants you to know that it's not just energy he feels. It's love. Deep, real love. And not only does he feel it, but he wants to turn it into something you both can touch, something you can walk inside of, a relationship, a commitment, a home. But the reason this has been moving slow, the reason it's felt hot and cold at times, is because the energy between you two has been ahead of the timeline. It's like you were guided to each other through a divine window that opened just slightly earlier than expected. And once that happened, the two of you met. Not fully ready, not fully grounded, but pulled in nonetheless. Almost like the universe whispered, "Go now," before either of you had time to prepare. That's why it feels like you're standing at the gates of something massive, but the doors haven't fully opened yet. It's that moment where the lights are low, the space is buzzing, but the show hasn't started. There's a sense of being early, but also right on time in the eyes of spirit. You've landed on a connection that has the potential to grow into something long-term, something real and rooted and full of promise. But you're both still figuring out what that even means, especially him. This masculine sees you as his future, truly. He feels it in his body, but his past still echoes around him. He's walking through what I can only describe as a tunnel between the life he's always known and the life he's beginning to believe is possible. And you? You are that possibility. You are the light at the end of the tunnel, the vision that keeps him moving forward even when he's scared. And believe me, he is scared. I'm picking up on this deep fear in him, fear of messing this up, fear of not being enough, fear that he's not quite ready. I keep hearing, what if I only have one shot at this? And that pressure, that weight he's carrying, it's intense. In his mind, he doesn't want to fail you. He doesn't want to fumble the one thing that feels like destiny. And even though he might not be saying all of this out loud, you can probably feel it. That anxiety, that nervousness, that pause before the leap. But even in that pause, the love is there. It's real, and it's growing. Slowly, steadily, quietly, but undeniably. He's trying to figure himself out, trying to grow into the version of him that can stand beside you, not just energetically, but in real life. And that growth takes time. That grounding takes patience. But the pull, that part is already locked in. He knows what this is. Even if he hasn't said it, his soul already chose you. And now, he's working up the courage to say it out loud, to bring it into the physical, to make it real. So if things feel a little delayed right now, if the energy between you feels heavy one day and light the next, just know you're not alone in this. He's not resisting the connection. He's learning how to hold it. And you're both being guided towards something beautiful, something lasting, something worth the wait. I just pulled the next card, and we have here, the Fool. I'm feeling right now is the energy of a masculine who is standing right at the edge of something big, something life-changing. This connection wasn't planned. It wasn't expected. It feels like divine timing cracked open just wide enough for the two of you to meet, and suddenly everything changed. Even if it felt too early or too soon, the moment happened. And now that it's real, there's no going back. This masculine is being pulled into a deep inner transformation. He's being asked to become someone he's never been before, not because he wasn't good enough, but because the love he feels for you is calling him higher. He knows he can't stay the same and keep walking toward you. He feels this need to grow, to become more confident, more grounded, more capable of holding the kind of love that you carry. He's trying to build that within himself. But alongside that desire, there's fear. There's this deep internal struggle playing out inside of him, this back and forth between, I want this more than anything, and am I really ready for it? And even if he hasn't said a word about it, you can probably feel it. That tug in the energy, that hesitation, that quiet conflict that you didn't cause but you're somehow carrying the weight of. It's like he's wrestling with his own self-worth. He's asking questions like, can I really do this? Do I deserve this kind of love? And it's not about you. It's about the parts of himself that he hasn't healed yet. What he's not saying, but feeling, is that meeting you changed everything. He might not have had the words for it, but the moment your paths crossed, his soul recognized you. He saw the future in your eyes. He knew this wasn't temporary. You aren't just someone passing through, you are it. And now that he knows it, he feels this huge pressure not to mess it up. There's this fear inside him that says, what if I only get one shot at this? And because of that fear, he sometimes holds back. Not because he wants to leave, but because he doesn't want to fail. From the outside, you might look like opposites. You, divine feminine, are standing strong, radiant, grounded in who you are. He sees that, he admires it. And at the same time, it makes him reflect on where he still feels incomplete. He hasn't fully stepped into his own power yet, and he knows it. That's why this connection feels overwhelming. It's exposing where he still has room to grow, and that's not a bad thing. It's actually a gift, because you're showing him what's possible. You've also awakened something in him creatively, emotionally, spiritually. Your energy inspires him. It makes him want to express, to feel, to become. Being around you activates something deep in his heart, something that wants to move, to build, to create. It's like your presence reminds him of who he could be if he let go of everything he's outgrown. But the hesitation, that goes way back. I feel like for many of them, there's an old wound, possibly from childhood, that's still running the show in moments of fear. Some of them were raised in environments where they weren't allowed to be their full selves, where love came with conditions, where control, perfection, or fear silenced their voice. That energy shaped how they relate to closeness, to emotion, to trust. And now that they've met someone who sees their soul so clearly, it's all coming to the surface. So if he's been distant, inconsistent, or quiet, please don't take it as disinterest. He's not walking away. He's trying to find the courage to step forward. He's learning how to quiet the noise of the past so he can finally hear what his heart is saying now. And what it's saying is you. That says a lot, and let's see what we have here. I just pulled the star. And the moment I turned it over, I felt this overwhelming sense of clarity and awe, like a light being turned on in a room that's been dark for far too long. That's the energy this masculine feels when it comes to you. Divine feminine, you are his star, a guiding light, not just in the romantic sense, but on a soul level, because you've shown him something he never knew was possible. Now here's where it gets real. This is someone who's always been deeply connected to his soul, even if he didn't always have the words for it. He's always felt things deeply, known things without explanation. He's always been more heart than logic, but the world around him hasn't allowed that part of him to thrive. From a young age, he's had strong influences pushing him to be someone he's not. And for some of you, this came from a father figure, someone who taught him to prioritize structure, success, and logic over dreams, feelings, and freedom. Someone who said, "Be practical," when all he wanted to do was follow what felt true in his heart. And it didn't stop there. These pressures could have come from a past relationship, or even societal voices telling him how to be a man, what to chase, what to hide. At some point, he started living for other people's expectations, not his own joy, not his own truth. And while he might have kept functioning on the outside, something inside him went quiet. He learned how to appear together, but deep down, he felt disconnected, uninspired, lost. And then he met you, and everything started to shake. You're not like anyone else he's known. You don't just walk through life, you float. You're not chasing validation or following anyone's path. You're moving from your soul. You carry this energy that's free and whole and alive. And to him, it's not just beautiful, it's unbelievable. It's like he stumbled into a whole different dimension just by meeting you. And now, all those old voices he used to listen to, they don't make sense anymore. Because you've shown him something else. You've shown him what it looks like to live in alignment. You've shown him what's possible when someone chooses to follow their truth, even if it makes them stand alone. You've made him feel something he didn't know he was missing until he saw it in you. But here's the thing. You're not just inspiring him, you're triggering a deep shift, and that's not easy. For people like him, people who've been surrounded by fear-based love, control, or suppression, it can feel safer to stay in the known, even if that known is lifeless. So when he sees you living from your spirit, when he feels how real your energy is, he doesn't just admire it, he starts to crave it. He starts to ask, why not me? Why not my life? Why can't I feel like that? And that's what makes this connection so much bigger than just romantic attraction. This isn't just about the two of you. It's about what you represent. You're his glimpse into a higher timeline, a life full of color and magic and meaning, a life that he didn't think was meant for him until he met you. And now, you are the key to that world in his mind. He doesn't know how to get there on his own. Not yet. But you've shown him that it exists. Divine Feminine, this might not be the first time you've played this role. In fact, I feel you've done this for many. People meet you, and suddenly their world tilts. They see something through you that they didn't know was possible. And for a brief moment, they rise. They remember who they are. They taste their potential. But many of them can't stay. Not because they don't want to, but because they can't hold the frequency. They haven't done the work. So the connection fades. Not because you did something wrong, but because they weren't ready to stay where your soul lives. But this divine masculine, he's different. This could have been another quick flash of connection, another meeting that leaves someone haunted by your energy. But with him, there's more. There's something about this that feels meant. You weren't just a glimpse into a better life for him. You were the opening. You were the invitation. And even if it's hard, even if it takes time, his soul wants to meet you where you are. He's not there yet, not fully, but the journey has already begun. And you, Divine Feminine, you were the one who lit the way. I just pulled Strength. And this is the last card of today's reading. And honestly, It's the perfect one to close with, because the masculine I'm channeling here, he's finding that quiet, steady courage within himself to hold this connection, not just to admire it, not just to feel it in moments, but to stay in it, to keep reaching for you, even when it's hard, even when it feels like he's not fully there yet. Divine Feminine, I know there might have been a part of you that expected him to fade away. Maybe you've seen this pattern before. Someone feels your energy, gets overwhelmed, and then disappears. But this time, something's different. He's different. This is a masculine who isn't turning back. He's been slowly but surely climbing out of his old patterns, his old fears, his old life, because you've stirred something in him that he can't ignore. You didn't just awaken his heart, you reminded him of who he could be. And now, he's choosing to rise. He's not doing this to impress you or to earn you. He's doing it because love, real love, is reshaping him from the inside out. And even though it's been challenging, even though he's had to face parts of himself that he tried to avoid, he's doing the work without holding back. You might find yourself surprised by how much effort he's putting in, how quietly persistent he's been. You've inspired him to become someone who knows his worth, someone who can show up and offer you something grounded, something real. And even if you can't see every step he's taking, know this: he's walking toward you, not perfectly, but faithfully. And you, Divine Feminine, you've grown so much. You've learned to let go of the need to control how this plays out. You've surrendered. You've allowed things to unfold without force. And that energy, that soft power, it's what's allowing this connection to take root the way it's meant to. So let this continue to unfold. Let it breathe. Because this is not a connection that burns out. This is something that's being built with care, from the ground up, and spirit is all over it. Okay, this feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. If this message resonated, go ahead and hit the like button before you head out. And if you haven't already, I'd love for you to subscribe so you never miss these updates. We're building something beautiful here, and I'm so grateful you're part of it. Stay open, stay steady, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.